Hey guys, welcome to the video. Today we are doing NWOpening number 92, and it is the Monday Night Wars. There's no series number on this. It is the Monday Night War The Rock action figure. It's this one where he's wearing the Team Rocket shirt. This is a really cool figure. So I picked this one up because of my own weird neuroses where I have a weird nostalgia for the figures that I first bought when I first restarted DSW back in 2018, early 2019. And now I don't want to damage those figures, which I bought solely to animate with, which I also never do. So this is a direct upgrade to my Rock, which is the one from the 2-pack with Farouk. Exactly the same gear. And it only owes us £10, so we can't be mad about this one getting jacked up. In addition, it's pretty cool that it only cost us £10 to make that upgrade, and indeed in the process we get the double jointed arms, and we can sell this disciple piece as well. We also get the Roy's War mic, which is a pretty nice touch. Of course, this is from the Monday Night War series. It's the first Monday Night War figure I picked up, despite the series seeming tailored towards me. I've honestly just not had that much interest in the line, but if you've seen my last toy hunt video, that kind of changed somewhat recently, and I think that trend is going to continue as well. But yeah, just getting into the figure, we got the Monday Night War packaging, of course. We've got the viewing window for the Rock figure, but not for the Disciple legs. We've got this really cool steel effect in the top corner, which is of course nice, and then the fire in the other end for like the nitro side of things, I guess. We got the Disciple name and image on the front. This is the least Brutus that Brutus ever beefcaked. We got the exact same picture of the Rock on the side, so if you see this at an angle, it's kind of just staring at you twice. And we have the Rock in the gear on the back, as well as the image of the Disciple showing you which piece you get in this. And of course we have the Rob Van Dam as well, which I wasn't overly joyed with the head on. Otherwise, again, I might have bought one because I'm now scared of my Rob Van Dam getting damaged. Not that I bought that when I restarted the channel, just not like that figure. And we got the Stevie Ray and Booker T as well. Kind of cool, but I really don't fed enough to think there is ever going to be a realistic time where Harlem Heat are going to be in my fed. And then we have the Monday Night War, the Rock decals on the side there. And I think that's more or less all the waffle I have for this one, so let's get into it. Kind of unconvincing to do the drop-in in this particular instance because he's not going to be looking at you either way, because he's either like not posed properly or he's not going to be looking at you, you know. Initial impressions, this backing card is actually really nice. Of course, we've had some cool backing card artworks over the years, but this one's really cool, and it definitely kind of embodies that Monday Night War aesthetic that they are going for. So anyway, initial impressions of the actual figure. First of all, these two heads are nowhere near as goofy as they looked on pictures. I mean, I understand what they're going for with both. Obviously, we've got the eyebrow raise on that head, and we've got the eye roll on that head. But the eye roll on this head, for me, on the images, it always looked so cheesy and over the top. This is a lot more understated. I don't know when I'd ever use this head, and quite frankly, I wish there was just a regular head that kind of went with it, because there isn't really an in-match head. There's just posed heads. But that being said, we do have the original figure that we are replacing, and we do actually have another Rock that I was going to use in my fed. So, we do have options there. I'm also pretty sure these suffer from a similar issue with other Rock figures in recent years, where they've given him the hair from the time, but scanned in his current face. So yeah, you kind of have a hair stuck on the modern Rock. However, this might not necessarily be accurate, and it definitely isn't as jarring as it is on some heads. I think he probably has been aged up a little bit on these, but you really can't. You really don't notice it when you've been looking at the heads for a while, and there are definitely much worse Rock heads out there. I feel like this mic is just shadowing out its face, so I'm just gonna put that arm down, or I'm going to try to. Jesus. Okay, that's a little preview for the joint check later on. So yeah, really cool Rock figure. We got the Team Rocket t-shirt, of course. We've got the Rock's Nation of Domination decals on the shorts and knee pads. Got the Raw as One microphone, really, really cool. Brahma Bull tattoo on his arm. No tattoos on that side. Yep, just general pants. And he's got the Rock's boots, of course, with the cutaway part. I don't know what it is about this, but these bits have always kind of like irked me a bit. I have a friend who's mentioned upon occasion, like he's asked how people felt about these boots, and I always felt like it'd be uncomfortable just having this leather strap around your calf while this part is like exposed. It just feels like a sensory overload. But yeah, we actually have a little bit of excess plastic on that one, of course. But yeah, definitely the Rock. Definitely want to see his boots with the cutaway portions on it. In terms of accessories, of course, we've got the Raw is One microphone. Let's take a closer look. We have got the spare head as previously mentioned. And we have... Oh, man. What software update just ruined the focus on this phone? We got the closed fist on the right hand and the grip hand for the left hand. And of course we have the Disciple legs, which we'll be sticking on eBay and hoping somebody wants. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Grab Disciple by the toe. If he cries, f him, yo! So we'll get into this, the t-shirt, the Team Rocket t-shirt, as I mentioned earlier. It's pretty cool. I'm hoping there's not going to be any staining underneath it. Oh, it's not a Velcro shirt. It's like one piece, which in theory I prefer, but in practice it's a little bit more awkward. Oh, wow. Look at that. I literally just picked him up and knocked his head. And look at that. That is appallingly bad. That is terrible. It looks like it's in right. I mean, that's even worse if it's in right. Yeah, not sure what to think of that. It's pretty bad. Put his cheeky face on. See how that goes? Yeah. Yeah, it's the joint. Actually, no. That's actually... Yeah, so it's kind of weird. It's like if you sit it right down, then it fits fine for like turning left and right. But then if it's kind of like if his chin gets raised up, the head just comes straight off. Okay. That's probably good though, right? That's probably useful. I don't know. I mean, it's going to be useful right now in trying to get his shirt off. God, it's like trying to get a figure of a toddler when the shirt doesn't have the Velcro back. I wouldn't at all, but it's for science. Okay, so good news. No staining. Bad news. Head very loose. Try putting his regular head back on. It's like for turning left and right, it's absolutely fine. And as soon as you turn it so far, it's like, yep, I'm no longer on. I mean, even then, that's turning pretty liberally. Anyway, that's easily the worst head joint we've had in a long time. I guess the consolation is maybe my neurotic brain would be okay with me swapping the arms of this one onto the old one, using that one and letting that one get banged up, and then having this one as the spare that doesn't get used and has the single jointed elbows. I don't know. So there is the t-shirt, loose, nothing special about it really, except it likes to roll up into itself. You know, standard Mattel t-shirt, no Velcro on the back. Kind of regret taking it off now, but I mean, like I say, it's for science. We're going to have to try and get it back on at some point. We're going to get into the joint check. Head, less said the better. Let's go for this arm. Okay, shoulders stiff. It's good. Stiff but movable. Bicep is fine. And this elbow is good. And the wrist doesn't really matter because they're going to loosen over time with the interchangeable hands anyway, but I digress. We got the other shoulder moves. Not a lot of Mattel figures nowadays have both shoulders movable. That was worrying. I had glimmers of disaster happening there. Biceps fine, elbows a bit loose. And the ab joint is the loosest I've seen for a while. Like, that is really bad. There's no way about that. You know, it's going to hold its shape all the way up, but basically when you're animating with this, you're going to be worrying about this head spinning around and this just flopping about. Man, it's weird how you can be annoyed about spending £10 on an action figure that looks this good. At the end of the day, it looks really good. It's really good quality product for £10 reduced in Smiths. And you can kind of still wish you hadn't because of the state of these joints. These joints are bad. And that knee doesn't bend at all, so that's not helping. These weird rock boots don't have a boot cut, so that's minus points for articulation. And the toe doesn't move like a lot of these things don't. That leg doesn't really go up. Oh god, that knee doesn't move either. And what is happening to his upper thighs when he moves? What is this? Where's this come from? Look at all the scratching on his upper thighs and everything. Good god. I mean, thank god we saved the third rock figure, the rock I was gonna use before I decided to just get this. Oh well, guys. At least we got the double jointed elbows for some kind of rock figure. We still got his t-shirt, we got some other hands, and we got the microphone, which is really, really cool. I don't want to undersell how cool this is. I would have loved this as a kid, but since my Fed doesn't have Raw, I wouldn't be using this in it. Oh well, we were always going to try and get some money back for the Disciple legs. Wow, what can I say? Alright, so review of this figure. The figure itself is fine. In fact, the figure is definitely better than it looks. With the head's definitely better in person than they were on the pictures. However, this particular piece coming out of Mattel's factory, I don't know, was this before or after the change to the Vietnam factory? The heads don't sit on the figure properly, the ab joint is loose, the knees don't bend at all, the thighs are or the hips, the inner groin area is getting jacked up whenever I move the legs, which, I know that this was a thing on, like, some of the AEW figures, like Kenny Omega and stuff, but, like, on a regular figure, regular legs, that's bad. That's really bad. So, yeah, hugely underwhelmed with the actual build quality of this particular instance of the figure. Figure itself is pretty cool. Your mileage may vary. I did only get this for £10, and thank God that is the case, because I would be really disappointed now if I had paid the full price for this, which, granted, the Monday Night War figures are only £20, even with a Build-A-Figure piece in there. Really kind of disappointed with how this one's gone, guys. Not going to lie to you there. I mean, even the microphone's bent, whatever. Okay, so I like to end my figure reviews with talking about what they're going to be doing in the figure fed. So when last we saw The Rock, he was still part of the Nation of Domination. And in fact, Shawn Michaels just got disqualified against him while defending his Iron Brand Championship because the Nation of Domination interfered, and Michaels decided to get himself DQ'd for self-preservation. Then Michaels is in a match with Edge for the same championship at Fix the World, and The Rock has been a little bit passed up, and the Nation aren't necessarily that concerned with getting his next title shot on the books. But other than that, generally as a long-term plan, he's probably going to be popping up in the, higher card. But quite frankly, I'm not sure which figure of The Rock it's going to be at this point. I mean, quite realistically, I'll get my original out, since it's just here on the edge anyway. Quite realistically, it could literally still be this one, with one of these heads maybe, or a completely different head, or a completely different Rock. And I can't use the same arms for this one because they're a completely different skin tone. Oh, dearie me. Right, okay. They've actually got a completely different build as well. I haven't really noticed that. I mean, to be fair, with how much I film my Fed, maybe The Rock's future is just being decided for him. Because I'm probably not going to buy a fourth Rock figure just to try and get one in decent condition to animate with. But anyway, that is everything for this video. If you did enjoy it, please do like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the NWOpenings playlist in the end screen for more. You can also check out DSW Network memberships now available, the lowest tier of which is just £1. Just $1, I believe. I believe it's a straight conversion to America. And for that, you can currently get 17 exclusive videos that are not available to view on the channel, all of which will be available on the channel, but none of which are currently available on the channel, and that will probably include other unboxings like this that actually are exclusive, or at least have early access. So if you would be interested in that, go and check that out. I think it's an incredible deal for £1 if you just enjoy the content that this channel produces, and thank you if you do. And other than that, I really do appreciate you guys joining me, so thank you all for watching, and goodbye. As Freddy jumps off the bed and decides he wants to leave again. And the dog's wanting to be back in now. Okay,